John Parker, you do realize it's partially your fault, right?
I like that. I'll take it. Exactly right. But yeah, you got to point the finger at somebody, huh?
Hey, it's the standard that you guys all created here. I mean, we're having a meltdown here because of our defensive performance.
Yeah, has that been what it's like? Is a meltdown? I mean, I guess when you give up 31 points, I mean, usually, I think back when I was playing, our goal every week was to score 35 points. And we felt like, if you score 35 points in the SEC, you're going to have a pretty good chance to win the game. So now I guess they've doubled that on offense. Their goal is now to score 70 points a game, which is fun to watch. But, yeah, defense side of the ball, we got some stuff to clean up. I don't think there's any doubt about that. It kind of looked a little bit like some earlier times in the year just where it's the good thing, in my opinion, is it's not a lack of hustle thing. It's not a getting beat athletically thing. It's just when you run a very sophisticated defense, sometimes coverage is get blown. And you got to give a little bit of credit to Arkansas. Joe Craddock, their offensive coordinator, did a lot of different things, from motions and shifts and alignments and using multiple sets. And they had, 3 tight ends that were pretty good, and they were able to catch the ball. And when you have those amount of guys that can move it around, you're going to score points. Obviously, you wouldn't want to see the 31 points scored, but it's, stuff to correct, and you better, I guess, correct it quick, because that team coming in this weekend's got a pretty high-powered offense also.
John Parker, when you look back at some of the things, is it strictly just communication? Is it being in the wrong? I mean, you're a guy that you understand not only your responsibilities, but the other 21 guys on that football field. What was that went so wrong, I guess, for Alabama's defense that they kind of caught them in some situations?
Yeah, it just and I go back to like the things that Rashad said, because he obviously knows I know the X's and O's of defense, and he knows more of the technique and the coaching, and sometimes it's just getting lost in the eye discipline. And what does that even mean, right? That's just when guys are moving around, especially in the backfield and from untraditional formations. If there's 3 receivers to our side of the field, me and you are playing DB, there's 3 receivers, so there's a lot of different combinations of things they can do. And then if you bring the running back in, there's really 4 receivers to one side. So you and I would have to be on the same page, whether your guy goes inside or my goes inside, and we just have to switch those off. The good thing that I did see from the defense was they kind of corrected them as the game went on. So there was a lot of screens to the running back, a lot of these middle screens that guys were getting lost. But as the game went on, they were able to correct the mistakes during the game. So it's not like they continue to linger throughout the game. That's something you just work to clean up and, try to get better. I think the defense has been pretty good all year. Had a bad game, you're going to have bad games. That's part of it. And look, it is an SEC team. At the end of the day, they've got some pretty good scholarship players also. So you got to just clean it up and get ready for next week.
John Parker, I said it earlier, and I don't think it's a really far reach. I think you'll see a different defensive unit out there on Saturday. I think the focus and the intensity will be a much different, because I think Nick Saban's going to get them this way Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They'll be ready to play on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it, especially, it is a homecoming game. So there's a little bit extra on the line there. And when you have, you kind of get hit in the mouth a little bit and you've got that stun a little bit, you'll take a different attitude towards practice. So I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that they'll clean it up and get moving in the right direction. I mean, I think there were some highlights of the game. I think Shaheem Carter taking back another touchdown is something that has been kind of overlooked so far this season, has been the defensive ability to turn the ball over. I think that I had to go back and check my notes that I don't have in front of me. I think that's 11 turnovers on the year for them, so doing pretty good. And then a lot of those have been taken back for pick six. So there's definitely some things to build on if you're looking at it. Getting, the week before had really good or against A&M, had 7 sacks, which is really good against a good quarterback, Kellen Mond. So there's a lot of things to build on. And, third downs are still pretty good. 29% other teams getting it at third down. So there's a lot of things to build on. Yeah, I'm sorry. Turnovers were 13 games, 10 interceptions, 3 fumbles. So they're turning the ball over, and they'll clean up the points. I don't think there's any doubt in my mind they'll clean that up.
Yeah, one of the best teams, certainly combined with the offensive side of the football. When we talk about turnover margin, Alabama is one of the top six in the country in turnover margin. Certainly starts with that offensive side of the football. We'll spend some time with the offense, but let's stay on defense for just a couple of minutes. Can you compliment, and I know it's Quinnen Williams has been a big surprise going into this season, but, man, this young man's playing with a lot of confidence up front.
No, I don't think there's anything doubt about it. I think he has been a pleasant surprise. The sophomore from Birmingham has gotten after it. A couple games ago, he was very disruptive. He's got 22 tackles on the season so far. But I just think his motor's running. Raekwon's getting a lot of attention in the passing game or the pass pickups. But time and time again, number 92 shows up, and whether it's being disruptive, and I know Coach Saban said a couple times this year, you don't always look for, especially on defense and the defensive line, it's not always about the sacks or the tackles for loss. It's about being disruptive, and I think Quinnen Williams has been as disruptive as anybody else on defense. His motor runs nonstop. Made a lot of tackles where the running back, he might have been getting blocked pretty good on the play, and then the running back cuts back, and there is Quinnen, stopping him for a 1 or 2 yard gain. So I think that kind of play is definitely things to compliment. Isaiah Buggs has shown up huge in the past couple games. He's got 6 sacks right now, so he's rushing the passer, doing some good things. So it's not like there's a lack of effort or a lack of talent. It's just with the sophistication of the defense, and a lot of guys have been hurt, and that's Coach Saban said earlier in the season too. It's hard to just turn the page and have a new guy, and you want to say next man up, but there's some growing pains that come with as many injuries as this defense has had. And I think that's extremely easy to forget is the amount of injuries that they've had. A linebacker and the secondary, everywhere on defense has been injury plagued really for the past 2 seasons.
John Parker, let's go to the offensive side of the football. This receiving unit, top to bottom, may have an argument. I mean, listen, we've had great players. You played with solid wide receivers here at the University of Alabama. We certainly well documented in history. But top to bottom, this unit is as solid as they come, and that we've seen in Tuscaloosa.
No, I don't think there's any question. I think now you throw Irv Smith in there in the receiving category, and you've got 5 guys that can hurt you. So as a defense coordinator, I honestly don't know how you line up and try to attack them. You try to just get pressure with your front 4 and then allow everybody else to drop into coverage because, Jerry Jeudy's leading the unit right now with 8 touchdowns. It seems like every time he gets the ball, he's scoring. And then Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs, the true freshman Jalen Waddle is as dynamic as anybody else is on the team. And then with Irv Smith, and we look at Irv Smith, and Arkansas is really putting in a tough situation with him, especially with the way he started the game. They had to bring in a nickel cornerback to try to guard him. So they split him out, and they brought the safety down. So now you're having to bring a safety down to try to start up the run or try to guard Irv. And then you actually only get a linebacker up. So there's a huge mismatch with him in the passing game. And then it just opens a lot of things up when you have to, by the way, worry about a NFL-looking tight end running down the field that runs like a receiver.
John Parker, if I've heard you guys say, and I'm talking about you guys as the quarterbacks here in the Nick Saban era, whether it's you or Greg or AJ or Jacob Coker or Blake Sims, and I've heard you guys say it a million times, take what the defense will give you. Take what the defense will give you. It seems to be a philosophy of Nick Saban. We are playing that type of football, right? I mean, we're looking at it and we're saying, okay, we can do a lot of different things, but if you're going to give us something, we're going to take advantage of it. No
question. I think Coach Locksley, Mike Locksley, the offensive coordinator, has done a fantastic job also of taking exactly that and the run pass options, the RPOs that he's put in are doing that. So if the defense walks in, they've got an extra safety in the box. Let's not run a bad play and just try to, break a tackle for a 3-yard gain. let's let them come up and we'll throw the ball right behind them. I mean, we've seen it time and time again, these play action. It looks like a quick game play action. Two is actually reading a linebacker or reading safety. So that is just a 2018 version of doing that, of taking what the defense gives you. It makes the run game better. It makes the passing game better. And especially now, how many times has Judy in the slot caught a quick slant and taken it for a 50 or 60-yard score? So it just – this team has got weapons all over the field, and they're finding different ways to get the guys the ball, whether it's getting the ball out to his hand quickly or, allowing them to drop back. I think I saw a stat today of passes down the field of over 25 yards. He's hitting about 66% right now, so it's pretty dangerous when you're throwing the ball downfield, taking shot plays, and having that kind of production.
Where do you think this offense can improve? Where would you like to see this offense? And I know we're really putting things under a microscope when you talk about 65 points, but is there some room that you can improve?
So we're first in the country right now in scoring, obviously first in the SEC, second in the SEC in passing yards, first in the country in passing efficiency, first in the conference in third downs at almost 60%. So, I think Coach Saban has challenged the guys lately, the past couple of games, about being able to rush the ball, being able to rush it at will. So I think that has been a point of emphasis. But, I looked at this last game, and we were trying to get out of the game against Arkansas. That once again, they knew we were going to run the ball. We knew we were going to run down the ball. I think the last time we had the ball was a 7-minute drive. It went 7 or 8 plays of converting third downs and just running the ball. And that's what you got to be able to do. And look, we're not going to be first in the country in passing and rushing. I mean, it's just, you only got so many plays a game, and especially how quickly they're scoring. So we're, I guess you'd call it an average 28th in the country rushing. But I think what we saw against Arkansas, Damian Harris going out and getting it done, rushing for over 100 yards, those guys made up their mind they wanted to run the ball. And I think it was probably their best rushing game up front for Alabama. It says, hey, we're going to do this. And they did it all day. So I think if you're Tua and you're the offense and you're Jalen, you're just worried about going out there and staying sharp, staying efficient like they've been doing it, not getting complacent, not beating yourself, because through 5 games so far, Loxley's dialed them up pretty good.
Final question. We're talking to John Parker Wilson, presented by Tuscaloosa Toyota. Being a former quarterback, help us understand Drew Lock from your perspective.
Yeah, he's a good player, and he's one of the top quarterbacks in the country. Got a big arm, very accurate, kind of like we've seen from Tua, just the accuracy that he's had. So I think if you're Alabama's defense, you got to get ready and be able to go do it again. They're averaging 318 yards right now through the air a game. So you just got to strap it up and say, hey, we made some mistakes last week. We can't let it get it done, because he is going to be a big-time NFL quarterback, and you can't let it bother you. The good thing about Drew Lock and going against a guy like that, our defensive secondary is going against some pretty good quarterbacks of their own every day in practice. So I think they'll have a good week of practice and be ready to play this weekend and just clean it up. I think that's all it is for the defense, is going out there and being a little more efficient and cleaning it up and being able to just maintain that 60 minutes. So it'll be a big test for that defense. I'm looking forward to seeing how they come out and respond to a good passing attack.
No doubt. Let me talk about Tuscaloosa Toyota. I'm going to throw it back to you. We are Alabama's #1 volume Toyota certified dealer. Scott Peoples, that amazing staff. Talk more about Tuscaloosa Toyota.
I was actually out there today checking out the inventory and everything they had. Jeff Baker, Scott Peoples, their staff is as good as it gets. I mean, they get so many things to offer, from the one price, no haggling, from the sales guys who don't get commission based on the car they sell you. They just want to put you in whatever you're looking for, new or used, 3-day return policy. It really is customer service at its finest. And today, in the world we live in, customer service kind of gets pushed to the side sometimes, but you can go in there and get your oil changed like I did, get your tires rotated, whatever you need to do to your car. The service department's huge. They've got an awesome waiting room, so you can go in there, kind of relax, wait for your car to get serviced. They're going to take care of you. You know they are. So tell them I sent you. down there on Skyline Boulevard, or check them out at tuscaloosa.youtube.com.
Hey, John Parker, thank you so much. I'll see you in the stadium on Saturday. Have a great day, man.
Roll Tide, my man.